This man was fishing for salmon in Yakutat, Alaska, and during this fishing trip, he was saved by his two dogs. It's said that bears can sense salmon from a distance of 18 miles, so as this fisherman piled on the salmon, the bears drew closer and closer. First, the man fired a shot from his rifle to scare them off, but it didn't work. The grizzly came back. However, his two dogs, Henry and Baby, managed to scare the bear and bite its heels while it ran away. This is the story of Angel, the smallest, fearless dog in the world. While this military veteran was sleeping, someone broke into his house. All of a sudden, Angel was up. She went downstairs, saw the man, and quietly came back upstairs and started pounding her little feet on her owner's chest, hoping to wake him up. The man quickly jumped out of bed and went for his gun when he saw a silhouette of a man walking in the hallway. Carefully, this military veteran got behind the robber, pointed the gun at his head, and told him not to move. He held the man at the house while waiting for the police to arrive and arrest him. Completely unaware of the leopard behind him, this wildcat enthusiast was taking care of the lioness, but just as the leopard was ready to attack, the tiger stopped him and saved the guy's life. The woman said that the largest tiger shark she'd ever seen was coming straight towards her. She knew that there was no way she could outswim it or escape it, so she just stood there. At one point, a whale got between the tiger shark and the woman and saved her life. This is the story of a quiet stranger. On this security camera, Robert Ward can be seen peacefully entering an apartment. A 122-pound Great Dane rushes over to greet him, but there's a problem. Robert Ward doesn't live here. The house belongs to a mom and a child sitting in the other room. As Robert Ward tries to gain the Great Dane's trust, the woman hears a noise. She walks to the front door and smashes that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, she sees a stranger in her house. After letting out a horrified scream, the dog knew something was wrong. He immediately attacked the intruder, and fearing for his life, Robert managed to escape. Later, he was caught and convicted of second-degree burglary. Kendall was a rescue dog that this family adopted. At first, things were rough, but then as she adopted the family's way of life, she bonded closely with all of them. Eventually, she even checked up on their baby toddler every night before bed. During a walk with his dog, this man came across a venomous snake. His dog came to the rescue and grabbed the snake with his teeth and threw it far away. Every time a group of children cross the street, this dog will bark at any car that tries to drive by. Her name is Koala, and she's from Batumi, Georgia. In 2016, an elephant named Koala saved this man's life who seemed to be drowning in a river in Thailand. Clearly, the man wasn't in any danger, and this was just an experiment. Derek wanted to see how the baby elephant he rescued in 2015 would react to seeing him in danger 1 year later. And it's pretty clear that elephants never forget. This little baby Asian elephant risked her own life to save Derek. In the end, she and Derek shared lots of hugs and kisses. Just as this toddler was about to fall down the stairs, this cat jumped up from the chair, rushed over to him, and pushed the little guy back. We hope this family realized just how important a family member the cat is. This cat saved the life of its owner, who fell from the shower. This is Ron Williams. He was 84 years old at the time of the accident. As he was getting out of the shower, he slipped and fell with no way of getting up. His hand was pinned underneath him, and the only thing he had near him was his cell phone and his cat. Ron adopted Mr. Fluffy from a friend just a few weeks before the incident. For 16 hours, the man lay on the floor and would tell Fluffy to pick up the phone every time it would ring. Ron was helpless and losing hope, so he was willing to try anything. Mr. Fluffy eventually brought Ron the phone, and he was finally saved. After the incident, he said that Fluffy never leaves his sight. Next up, we have the cat babysitter. In this video, you can clearly see the toddler dangerously close to the balcony fence. But as soon as he tried to grab onto the rails and pull himself up, this cat babysitter would push him away. You can see that the parent is filming the whole thing lounging on the couch, so the kid was definitely safe. This female lion saved two zookeepers. The two guys were locked inside the enclosure with the lions, and the door was far away. Before you know it, one of the big male lions attacked the keepers. However, the lioness immediately jumped in between them and chased the male away. And now comes Canine Kenzo. This is probably the only dog in the world that's been awarded a Combat Cross, a Combat Starlie, and a Medal of Honor. They're given only to those officers that have risked their lives for the sake of others. And Canine Kenzo not only saved the lives of PBSO deputies who were exposed to enemy fire, he also took several bullets and still survived. After getting out of the hospital, a ceremony was held in his honor. This is without a doubt the most heroic bird we've ever heard of. His name is Rarest, and he helped a battalion of 194 men when they were surrounded by the enemy. They sent out several messenger pigeons, but they were shot down, except for Rarest. He was shot too, but he managed to deliver the message with a pierced breast, blinded in one eye, and a leg dangling by only one tendon. For saving the lives of 194 men, this little bird was given several awards and statues were made of him. And then we have the pig fighting heart attacks. We've all been taught that pork is not good for your heart. Well, Joanne Altsman didn't listen to any of this and adopted a pet pig named Lulu. They lived a normal life until one morning everything changed. As Joanne was getting ready to fix herself breakfast, she felt a sharp pain in her chest. Her husband was out, so she had no one to call as the only payphone nearby was down the block from their house. But thankfully, Lulu the pig managed to catch the attention of a man passing by. When the man followed Lulu home, Joanne thanked God for saving her life and asked the stranger to call 911. A robber held this store owner at gunpoint, but didn't realize that Hobby was there to save the day. The incident happened in France when Hobby was only 4 years old. Despite his young age, he was very strong. In fact, if you watch the video, you'll see that the owner didn't go for the cash register, but rushed to free Hobby. As soon as the robber saw the dog, he was out the door. While at home in Brisbane, Australia, his house was burning, but the owner was sound asleep in his bedroom. His pet parrot sensed the smoke and was wide awake. He knew that something was wrong and started screeching and screaming at the top of his lungs. Luckily, his owner woke up, and they both got out before the burning house collapsed on itself. Not all guardian angels are white. Some are small and green. Let's not forget about Bane the Protector. Ashley from Canada was out on a hike with her dog in the nearby woods in May 2019. All of a sudden, a black bear appeared. Filming the encounter that was about to turn into an incident with one hand and holding Bane on a leash with the other, she tried scaring the bear by yelling at it. But that didn't stop the black bear from approaching Ashley. What did stop the bear was Bane and his fearless spirit. He started barking and lunged at the black bear. He managed to defeat the bear, but he suffered some injuries himself. Seeing him all bloody, Ashley took him straight for medical attention, and today there's practically no sign of the bite marks or the scratch marks. The dog that saved her owner's life is named Clover. During a regular walk around the block, her owner, Haley Moore, suffered a sudden seizure and collapsed on the side of the road. First, Clover's baffled and doesn't know what to do until she sees a car pass by. She jumped in the middle of the road and stopped the next car that drove along. The owner got out of his vehicle and saw Haley lying on the ground. He called 911, and Haley's perfectly fine after undergoing necessary treatment. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next.